Johnny Dumbbell, we in the building. What's good, fam?
Dude, we are not only in the building, we are live on your channel, my channel. And look, it's getting real, isn't it?
Salute to us, fam. Yeah, me right now, I'm up on Facebook. I'm up on YouTube. I am up on Rumble. And I can see here our stream has your YouTube too. Johnny, man, we got to get your Facebook or IG on there. It is imperative that we reach as many men as we can to give them this game and knowledge to help them get their lives together, buddy.
If for no other reason than to stop them from suffering the way we did. My God.
Oh, exactly. But Johnny, look, that's why we're at where we are today. The things that we went through, the things that we have suffered through, have struggled through, have endured through, have helped us grow into the men that we are today. And that's how we can give these guys advice, men on all ages, on how they should be moving in life.
You know, Bill, I can remember about a year ago, we had a troll in our comments one time talking about a couple of guys with gray beards talking about modern dating. And to that, I would say you're darn right. We got gray beards. We got gray hair, too. And we earned every last one of these, which to me says, look, we've been there. We've done that. And we are here to make sure that not that you have fewer gray hairs, because trust me, you're going to want those later in life, but that you don't get them as quickly and as young and as easily and for the wrong reasons. And that's why you should be tuning in.
Now, hey, well said, Johnny. I got to say, as far as trolls in our comments, we have come so far. Hey, me too. Hey, I appreciate all the comments. If you think we're capping about anything we say on here, call us out in the comments. And
if you don't troll us, I'm going to assume you don't like us.
Hey, it's all good. I would rather somebody hate me for who I am than love me for who I'm not, Johnny. Now, look. We've had many trolls in here. We have had women that have come on to our Bumble breakdown to call us out about the audacity of speaking all women's dating profiles. And
one of them became a client.
Yeah, one of them had, absolutely. Shout out to us. So that's why we're here tonight, Johnny. We are breaking down the ladies' dating profiles on my Bumble because we want to show you, men, the subtleties and nuances to online dating. And look,
and more importantly, we're going to try to find. Oh, sorry.
We got nothing but love and respect for these ladies, but we're going to show you that the things that they're saying publicly in their profiles, man, that's not typically what they respond to. At least not in our experience, is it, Johnny?
It is not. And, we are here to decode and demystify that sort of mumbo jumbo for you fellas. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there are, I'm throwing my hands up. I give up. If that were true, you wouldn't be watching us. Or, they're all crazy and consistent. You can't understand them day to day. No, I don't buy that. And neither does Bill. There is a method to the madness that we are all experiencing. And today, just like every other show, we are here to unlock and reveal that to you. If there is no, look, we are not creators. Again, like Custom Auto said to Mike Tyson, if there's no spark, I can't put life. Okay? What we do is we discover, uncover, and reveal, and we say, there's your information. Take it like a man and use it like a man.
Well said. Give me just a second here, and I will get Bumble up on our screen. You know what? Let me just preview this first profile again. Yeah, all good here.
I got to turn this lighting down. I'm all bleached.
For anybody that's new to our show, here's how this is going to work. We're going to jump back and forth between each profile, between a split screen like Johnny and I, and then something where we are sharing our screen and my Bumble. And I'm going to preview each profile. And that's because there are certain community guidelines on some of these platforms that we have to respect and adhere to. So I need to inspect each profile before I can share it on our channels.
And frankly, even if there weren't, we don't want to put your children's pictures up on, for the whole internet to see. Just because you do doesn't mean we're going to.
Johnny, I really think that's done in poor taste.
It is.
But some of it is a naivete that they don't realize it. And they're just being proud parents and showing off the picture.
Hey, I get that.
But the world we live in today, the security of your children should be on the forefront of what you're thinking. And look, I can
Yeah.
respect a woman that lets everybody know up front that she's a single mom, that she has demands on her time, that the children come first. Hey, I'm cool with all that. I don't have a problem with that at all. I love dating single moms, but their children's profiles, we're not going to share those on our show. So any of these women that have pictures with their kids on them, we're just going to skip right over them and show you some ladies that don't tonight.
Yep.
So Johnny, what are you drinking on tonight?
So tonight I am drinking on Four Roses bourbon. This is the best whiskey you're going to find for $25 a fifth. I'm drinking, but they're not paying. They're not paying me for it just yet. However, we are here to give advice because, as I said before, I drink and I know things.
All right, Johnny, can you see our first profile?
Let's see. I'm on a little bit of a delay on my big screen, but there. Okay, Christy, 33. What do we got?
All right. Well, hey, do me a favor. Our photos are covering my DMs. Look, here's the thing. When we get to a certain point with our channel, Johnny, I will share some of these DMs. I will show these guys how to move in the DMs, how to set up a date, how to gauge their interest. We will get to all that. But for now, we're not giving them that kind of game. We're just talking about these women's profiles and what to look for multiple reasons. What to look for so you know what to avoid. And when it comes to what you're looking for, that's going to kind of be a little more tailored to your life. So we're going to talk about mine because I believe as men, we lead by example. So I'm showing you a glimpse into my vetting process, the things that I do when it comes to online dating. And look, gentlemen, if you have no idea what you're doing out there, reach out to Johnny and me. We are on every platform you could think of. We give you guys this advice out of the kindness of our hearts because we just want to see you guys do better. We really do. So,
and if we ever get rich, we'll see you on Patreon.
Hey, and I'll tell you, on Monday nights, our show is just answering viewer questions. So, like I said, reach out to myself, reach out to Johnny. If you have questions, we got you. We want to see you become the best version of yourself. And anything you need, fellas, just ask.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And like Bill said, and Bill, honestly, I'd like to hear your intro, man. It always gets me motivated to get going on these Bumbles. But we went through that. What we want to do here is we want to show you guys that there are certain red flags that you're going to read in a bio. There are certain red flags that you might see in a photo, and the thing that society wants you to do is ignore those and just look for the content of her character, not realizing that in those very aspects of her profile, you will find at least a part of the content of her character. And if she doesn't put a bio, to me, that means her character has no content.
Well, that's not Johnny. Well, I don't disagree with the things you said. I would like to point out that that's not always the case. I know a lot of women that suffer from anxiety and they just don't know what to write in the bio. So they don't take the time to fill them out because they don't realize how important it is to us real men who are trying to date with a purpose. We're looking for women of substance. We're just now look, if you guys are young men and you're just looking to smash and dash, cool. I don't have a problem with that. But we approach this as a vetting process. And I'll tell you right now, fellas, you need to vet the women that you allow into your life for about 12 months, 12 to 18 months, I would say. And that's before elevating them to girlfriend. That's before getting into a monogamous relationship with them. That's before giving them your all and going hard for that woman. You got to make sure she's willing to go hard for you first, dog. So 12 months on the vetting process. And look, I'll tell you why, too, because people can pretend to be someone else. They can hold up a mask for several months, but they cannot hold up that mask indefinitely. And consistency is key in dating. And 12 months, dog, you'll find out who that woman really is after about 6 or 8. And as long as she's adhering to your program after about 12 months, yeah, girlfriend her up, dog.
Yeah. And Bill says 12 to 18 months, and honestly, that's a good guideline to follow. Now, if you've been married like I have, I can actually bring that down to 6 to 9 months. But that's just because I've already been through the rigmarole. I've already been through the bullshit. I've already been through all the heartache, all the headache, and all the other kinds of aches that marriage brings to you, especially when it comes to an end. So for me, getting divorced really taught me not so much about what I wasn't looking for, although it taught me a lot about that, but it definitely told me a lot of things that I need to look for, whether I'm looking online or my personal preference, the old fashioned way. Hey, I'm John. Let me tell you a stupid joke, whatever it happens to be.
All right, Johnny. You know what? You're right. We didn't do intros tonight, so
Well,
allow me
I was
to
trying to
introduce
tie
myself.
intros to bios. That was my fault. I didn't make that connection.
Let me introduce myself. My name is William, and I'd like to welcome every one of you watching this to my channel. It's called William the Conqueror, where I can show you how to conquer the hearts and minds of women the world over, but only if you first have the ability to conquer yourself. I'm talking about self-discipline, gentlemen. And I don't talk it, I live it. I lead by example. And when I tell you to vet a woman for 12 months, I am not telling you to do anything that I am not doing myself. So keep that in mind.
Absolutely.
All right, Johnny.
Absolutely. And what Billy's trying to say is he's telling you things from his own life perspective. From he can give you a few tips on the successes that he's had, but he can give you even more tips from the failures. There was a famous golfer, the guy that was the co-founder of the U.S. Open. I am so ashamed that I can't think of his name right now, but he famously said, "I never learned a thing from a match that I won."
Is that Arnold Palmer?
No, it wasn't Arnold Palmer. It was Bob Ross, or not Bob Ross. That's a painter. But it sounded like that. God, I'm such a dork. I can't remember what his name was. I'm gonna have. I will put it in the comments later.
Today, Johnny, I did my introduction. Why don't you introduce yourself for everybody watching tonight?
Well, I don't mind if I do. I am Johnny Dumbbell, and my channel is also called Johnny Dumbbell. I'm a personal trainer and life coach out here in beautiful Pittsburgh, PA, the city of championsers. And I'm here to share my successes and mostly my failures so that you young men, middle-aged men, and even men older than me don't have the same problems that I had when it came to self-respect, self-confidence, self-improvement, women, relationships, and more importantly, personal growth. And by that, I mean your physical, your mental, and your emotional or spiritual, if you will. Um, my disclaimer that I would give to you guys is if you are contemplating doing something, especially something romantic, and it sounds stupid, reckless, foolishly expensive, for the love of God, before you do it, talk to us first. We'll put a number up. Call us. Leave it in the comments. Send us DMs. The reason I say that is because we have probably, one or both of us has probably already done it, failed, and learned the hard way. And we can make you skip. We can help you skip all those steps. Because, look, if it's something stupid, we've probably done it. We are the uncles that you never wanted. We are the screw-up uncles that everybody talks about. And nevertheless, we are the crazy uncles that you can learn a lot from.
Johnny, I think it's also important. I know we talk about self-confidence, self-respect. We also need to talk about self-love. My man,
Yeah.
to thine own self be true. So
I have that tattooed on my shoulders.
in that spirit, let's get into these profiles and I'll show you what I'm looking for in the ladies that I want to go out with. Now, Johnny, first up, we got Christy. She's 33. Trauma wound tech. Does that mean she's a nurse, Johnny? Is a trauma wound tech a nurse?
Yes. Either she's a nurse or she does the scans when they run tests on like deep tissue injuries, I think is what it sounds like. Those of you who work in the medical field, I do not. I work in the fitness field. It's definitely not the same thing. So if I'm wrong on that, please let me know in the comments.
Johnny, I've had a lot of really good experiences with nurses.
Oh my God, tell me about it.
Dog. So let's see. Let's check this nurse out. Christy, 33. About Christy, I laugh easily. I'm always up for a new adventure and love anything outdoors. I love
Great.
hearing new ideas, conversations. I'm a deep connection kind of person. So move along if you're looking for easy, shallow fling. I love my solidarity, peace, but I wouldn't mind finding my adventure partner. Says she works out sometimes, rarely drinks. She's looking for marriage.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to lie. She's not attractive to me physically. But I will say that she does kind of at least make an attempt at making up for that with putting a pretty thoughtful bio. And I mean, I like what I'm reading. I like what I'm hearing. I'm not really crazy about what I'm seeing, but I love the fact that she's actually making an effort and saying, "Look, we're looking for a connection that's a little deeper than that." I would pass on her, but I could understand anybody who would swipe right.
Well, right. Just because you may not be physically
Sure.
attracted to her doesn't mean that some of these men out here that find our show and watch it won't be. So we really want to show them what to look for in this profile.
Yeah. I mean,
Now,
if you're looking for a solid bio, I think that's it.
Johnny, I kind of feel like this is 80% of the bios on Bumble. Laugh easily, want new adventure, love being outdoors, love conversations and deep connections. In fact, I bet we hear that at least 3 times tonight, 2 more times after this one.
I mean,
Uh,
I've seen profiles where they request that you make her laugh, but I don't think I've ever seen any that admit to laughing easily. The nice thing
okay.
about that is that means that if you go in there with any kind of wit, any kind of game, any kind of confidence in that game, in that wit, you're probably going to at least get to date number two, date number three, date number six. Um, the thing of it is, two questions you got to ask. Number one, do I really want that with this young lady? And number two, is it going to be my real personality or am I trying to play a character? Option B is never good. You got to be able to make her laugh with who you really are, the things you really think, and the sense of humor that you really do possess. And that's what she's looking for. She does seem to be, I don't want to say she's demanding because she's not, but in a way, she's asking for certain things. And I think that anybody who's out there looking for somebody should. Um, I have to tell you that what she's asking for on a personal and mental and, you know, uh, can you say connectional level? I don't even think it's a word, but on that level, she sounds really good as what in what she says. Um, and I think that's great. If you can get past the first impression that you get from the physical appearance, which unfortunately myself I cannot. But if you can, hey, swipe right because it could still be a great relationship for you. But to me, she's not my type of.
All right, it says win me over by actually having emotions and showing interest in a relationship. If
Uh,
you ghost people, you're not emotionally mature enough for me.
okay, so right there, she's basically telling you that she's been ghosted. So a couple of things come to mind here. And look, I'm not shaming anybody. I'm saying that she is a bigger girl, so she probably a lot of the bigger girls end up dealing with guys who show up for a night or two or only call at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday or Saturday night, or you know, it seems like she probably gets the old pump and dump at least relatively regularly in her life. And it sounds like she's probably pretty sick of that. And hey, I get it. I mean, look, men don't like being used any more than women like being used. We just get used for different things. So I get that. And, man, we do. Putting out for men is spending lots of money, and especially when it's for a lost cause.
That's
So, I mean,
tricky.
I understand that. And it's harder for these girls because giving the, oh, right, it's YouTube. So we have to say, giving the intimacy, is something that doesn't cost her anything monetarily. But as she's starting to see here, it's costing her a little bit of dignity. And she's so upset about that even in her online dating profile, she has to put that out there as something that she will not tolerate. Now, once again, we're not saying that we want to be able to go ahead and hit and quit, but when you go ahead and put things that you don't want to tolerate, we understand that that's your way of weeding things out, but just make sure that the things you don't want that you list don't outweigh the things that you list that you are looking for. Now, the good thing is you wrote a good bio. So, yeah, all right.
She wrote a good bio. She's putting some effort
Yeah.
into this. I know you think she's a bigger girl. I think she's like thick like zoo glass, dog. I'm telling you, she's a nurse.
You know what? On second glance, now that I saw the picture by the fan, you know what? No, I'm going to go ahead and change my mind about that. You're right about that.
So I'm actually a little interested in her, Johnny. And that's just because of what's in the profile. It's not so much
Yeah, from the chest up, I misjudged her appearance. I apologize for that because I messed that up.
I can't stand it when guys talk about she's a baddie, and they brag on a woman's looks because that means absolutely nothing. That's not indicative to the time I'm going to have with her on a date. That's not indicative of her following my lead. That's not indicative of her attraction towards me and what she's willing to do for my time. Her looks have nothing to do with that. So there's things that sure. I have a physical type that I like, that I'm immediately attracted to, that raises my interest. And while she may not have those physical characteristics, there may be enough redeeming qualities in this profile for me to swipe on. Because I'll tell you right here, it says I'm happiest when hiking, camping, exploring. I love my solo road trips and have a sweet camp set up. Tell me your favorite national park, and I'll tell you mine. Yeah, I mean, so yeah.
Well, for me, it's Glacier National Park in Montana.
Okay, I'd say Acadia in Maine for me.
Okay.
Quickest way to my heart: photography, memes, snacks, movie night, dogs, traveling, light roast sessions. And gentlemen, what she means by that is playful banter, kayaking.
I'm all about that.
So she really likes to do outdoor stuff. I love to do outdoor stuff. What else?
Bill, I'm gonna admit that I was wrong, and I'm gonna go ahead and say swipe left. Or I mean swipe right. Right. Swipe right.
You know what? I am swiping right, Johnny. Yeah. Now look, for those of you that are new to our show, Johnny Dumbbell is very goal oriented. Okay. And he wants me to set goals for myself, to better myself, so I can be a better man tomorrow than I was today. So one of the goals Johnny likes to set for me on this Bumble show is that I find 3 solid profiles of women that I would offer a date to. And Johnny, I'm swiping on her. We found our first one for tonight.
Right. Let's go.
Oh, look at that, Johnny. That's a match.
Bless that bitch.
Oh, that has never happened on this show before.
Well, I mean, it happens to me all the time. I just usually don't share it live.
It's never happened live, though. I've never seen, all right, one more time for Bill.
All right. So she's got 24 hours to start this conversation. And gentlemen, if she writes me back during the next hour of this show, I'm going to give the game and I'm going to respond live.
You're going to have to keep refreshing that one.
All right. So that's one, Johnny.
If those two, they're going to have a great story to tell if those two end up getting married. I'm just kidding. No, you don't get married, man.
Married? Who wants to get married nowadays, Johnny?
Nope.
Like, really? Men work so hard for everything they have in their life. And I got to tell you, I really feel like if there wasn't such a financial benefit for women divorcing their husband, the divorce rate would drop.
Dude, we literally live in a country that pays women to get divorced.
Hey, I mean, but
and they wonder why the divorce rate is 54%.
And I'll tell you what, a lot of guys will meet a woman and marry her within 18 months.
Yep.
So it's kind of hard to vet that woman to be your girlfriend for 12 to 18 months if you're already in a marriage with her before you even know who she is. But hey, she's bad. She's a baddie. I'm sure she's not going to smash any of your friends. All right, let me get to the next preview the next profile, Johnny.
And while he's doing that, please, once again, we're never going to put your profile up here if you put your kids in there.
Hey, Johnny, I got 5 likes right now.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, 5 women have swiped on my profile where they're interested in getting to know me a little bit better. Gentlemen, look, you have my word. One day we're going to get there. One day Johnny and I are going to have our channels monetized. One day we're going to have hundreds of people in this live stream. And I'm going to go ahead and share my profile at that point. And I'm going to show you guys the things that you should be writing in your own online dating profiles to spark interest and intrigue from these women.
Yeah.
All right, Johnny, I got another profile.
Let's see what we got here. I'm putting my old man glasses on. Here we go.
See what we got. Johnny, we got Tara. She's 33. Hey, shout out to the women in their mid-30s. I do really well with them.
Bless that bitch.
Yeah, a lot of them are realizing they're kind of hitting that wall, and some of them recognize that, look, they're not what they were in their 20s. It might be time to go ahead and wife up while you can. And I say that because so many of my female classmates who were ridiculously hot in their 20s are now in their mid-40s. Their looks have faded. They're being treated like literally everybody else, but now it's unfair. So, hey, good on you girls in your mid-30s. I'm telling you, that clock's ticking. Not for us guys, though. We get better looking in our 40s.
We got Tara, 33.
And I love it.
About Tara, not into hooking up.
Stop the cap.
I actually want to get to know someone I'm interested in.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Bill, what have we said every single time we've seen some BS like that?
Okay, well, here's a few
What's
things.
the rule?
Well, look, I'll break it down for you guys. Because a lot of guys don't know this, Johnny. Women are
I wish
either
they did.
attracted to
I
you
used to not
or
know this.
There's no middle ground. Women are either into you or they're not. If they're not into you, guys, I'm sorry. There is no product on earth you can buy, no magical cologne, no brand new drip, fresh gear, no car. There is nothing on earth you can purchase to make a woman who's not interested in you start liking you. It just doesn't exist. Women are either into you or they're not. Now,
and when they're not, there's 4 roses.
The women that are into you, now they're in a couple of different categories. High, medium, and low interest. So if you don't know what you're doing, you can take a woman who has high interest in you and turn her into a woman who has low interest in you. And even turn her into a woman where you're turning her off and she don't want anything to do with you. But here's the caveat for this, Johnny. When a woman is into you, when she is highly interested in you, she is not trying to hide her sexuality from you. So this not into hooking up stuff.
Stop the cap.
Because I'll tell you right now, if the woman is really into me, 90 minutes at a bar with me, she's going to be looking over at me and saying, hey, let's get out of here.
My God, Bill, the student has become the teacher.
Now,
because what you just described is the very interest level thing that we used to talk about. Remember that?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Now, I believe it when she says she actually wants to get to know someone she's interested in. I believe that. You don't?
Because you know why?
Well, I'm thinking
because she's
with a lot of losers and she would like someone that's consistent.
Very true. But here's the thing. The more attracted to you she ends up being, the less of her own rules she will follow. I'm going to say that again. The more attracted to you she is, the fewer rules she's going to impose on you, and frankly, herself.
Yes, Daddy.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm doing it right now.
Ladies
and gentlemen, that is now going to be the new sound that I hear when Bill texts me.
I love to spend time in nature. I create art in my free time.
Bless that bitch.
I have a cat. I love drum and bass, old school hip and alternative rock. I have a background in nutrition.
Bless that bitch.
I
Oh!
love Jesus, but I'm not religious. Yeah, I won't give her.
Sorry, honey, I'm taken.
Donnie. Okay, so the not into hooking ups, that's Cap. Wants to get
Yeah, it
to
is.
know someone she's interested in. All women do. Loves to spend time in nature. Second profile, we've seen that tonight. She's an art type. She makes art in her free time. You know, I'm very creative myself, but we can get into that later. So she has
So
a
here's
cat.
the thing.
What's up?
By getting to know you, does that mean seeing how much you'll spend on her? Because what she is giving us is straight cat there. Because once again, like we said before, the more attracted a woman is to you biologically and sexually, the less she needs to get to know you before that biologically sexual thing happens. Okay. And so what it sounds like to me is she wants to get to know you. She wants to talk to you. And while she's doing that, hey, let's meet for drinks on your dime. Let's go ahead and do stuff that you're going to pay for. Because I want to make sure that we meet enough times that I get to know you. And that way I can always say 5-6 dates in, yeah, I'm not feeling it, without ever actually having to take off any articles of clothes.
Gentlemen, if you have been on 5 or 6 dates with a woman and haven't smashed, please write me. Write my Facebook.
Oh my God,
Right
please
now.
do.
We need to have a talk. 6 dates? Are you kidding me? Where's your self-respect? Now, all right, Johnny, let's see what else we got here. Win me over by making me laugh.
Although, in actual, to be honest with you, that is a poignant statement. Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, she might be capping, she might not be, but I still promise you that making a woman laugh and having the ability to make her laugh is going to put you in a category that her friends won't ever be in. Because here's the thing: when you make a woman laugh, you're eliciting a response from her that she's incapable of controlling. Even if she tries not to laugh, you can tell she's trying not to laugh. The point is, you are making her do something that she can't stop herself from doing. And if you can make her do something that she can't stop herself from doing when her clothes are on, don't think for a second that it's not at least in the back of her mind, oh, I wonder what he can make me do when my clothes are not on. Think about that.
Don't be mad
She's
if
kind
I
of telling
have,
on her. She's kind of telling on herself there.
she says, don't be mad if I have vaxxed friends, but prefer a non-vaxxed lover.
Bless that bitch.
Johnny, look, I gotta tell
Okay,
you.
but I gotta know why she said that though. I wonder why she had the nerve. I want to know why she felt the need to say that.
Well,
Because remember, no woman says anything. First of all, most women don't write a bio any damn way. But when they do, best believe that everything she actually intentionally says, she intentionally says for a reason. Think about this. Look at movies. Look at plays. Look at music. Not one song, not one stage production, not one movie you've ever seen was ever written the way it was written for no reason.
well,
And people in personal levels and conversations and ads and, trying to get that dopamine rush or attention or whatever she's after, we're no different. We're just not as good as the Hollywood people.
this is not the first woman that's expressed this. In fact, I dated a woman last year who felt the same way. And Johnny, I'm not vaxxed, and here's why. Discipline. I'm all about discipline. Okay, I'm eating one meal a day. I fast for most of the day. I have one big meal a day with my children. In the evening, I eat dinner at the table with them every night. I'm not eating breakfast or lunch. One meal a day. I fast. Discipline.
We got to talk about that.
I work out. I go to the gym consistently. The things that I do eat and put into my body are very healthy. And I feel some type of way about having somebody inject me with something that they say is helpful, but could also be harmful. I'm fine now. I'm healthy now. I am not sick. There is no reason for me to put things into my body that I need to do multiple times a year. No, we're not doing that. So I'm not vaxxed. I would never vet a woman out if she was or if she wasn't. I don't really.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
I mean, that's like a personal preference for you, whether you decided to go through that or not. I'm not going to hold that against somebody. That's not going to be a pro or a con for me.
Okay,
I'm
but I'm
just
going to put you on some pro shit right here. The reason she says that is because think about what that implies. That means she's non-vaxxed. She prefers that you're non-vaxxed. Well, why does she care if she's non-vaxxed or you're non-vaxxed? Because she wants to eventually have,
children.
yeah. And in this case, Bill, I know you're not. So, as your buddy, as a man who cares deeply about you, I would say swipe left. But she's a great girl. And listen, guys, if you're looking to make babies, if you're looking to like start a family, it really sounds like she's trying to do so. So if you are, hey, swipe right. But I know Bill. I know he's not trying to do that. I know he's not trying. Look, his legacy's already going to be ridiculous, in the next 5-10 years. So he doesn't need to add to that because he doesn't want to brag. And yeah, we don't need more. We don't need more bills.
Hey, there's another William Dempsey in this world. I have created another me. So that is going to live on after me. My name is going to live on. The things that I instill into my son are going to live on. I'm just so happy.
Should.
All right. Now, Johnny, it says, teach me something about philanthropy. Now, while I can agree with philanthropy, I think it's important to help disadvantaged people. This tells me she's looking for somebody that has the kind of money that they can give away and do philanthropy with. Am I wrong about that?
Say that one more time. I think I might make the connection there.
Okay. She says, teach me something about philanthropy. And that gives me caution.
Oh, man. So what she's saying is, tell me how much money you make and how much you give to charity, because I would like to get some of that.
I would like to be the charity.
Tully29er says, I think she is saying she prefers conservative men, more likely not vaxxed than liberal men, but doesn't want to say it expressly. It's what, not her, but the last girl.
That's a really good point.
That's a very poignant statement. Yeah, I'm going to have to say yeah. Wow. Because nowadays, look, I don't want to talk politics any further than this, but let's face it, when you go on the internet and you say you're conservative, even if you don't get attacked, you'll at best get ignored. And so I think that with, what we see in the media and things like this, I can see why she would say something like that in a roundabout way, because remember, women have this intuition. They're not as big, strong, or as fast as we are, but you know what? They learn how to use this a lot younger than we do. And I think that's a good example of that.
Okay. And, Johnny, a woman's intuition, if while we always tell guys that they have no business lying to women, they're going to figure it out. If you're
never mind, even if they don't. So you got to lie to get some?
Exactly. I can't respect somebody who's got a lot of women to get it.
Now, don't get me wrong. I did that when I was a teenager because, teenager.
Well, we didn't know better as teenagers, and we didn't have our uncles that we could go subscribe to their YouTube channels for and get the game on how to move like men. So Make sure you swing by Johnny Dumbbell's YouTube channel and click subscribe. My man has tons of great information, not just on how to better yourself as a man, but how you should be working out in the gym too.
And most importantly, how to like yourself. Because promise, I guarantee you, until you like yourself, you will never understand the true meaning of self-confidence.
All right. Never. Now, just for consistency, and we don't talk about it, we are about it. I'm going to show everybody on screen that I'm swiping left on this profile and passing on it. Now,
I mean,
the
good luck to her,
affiliation. I don't think you guys should be talking about politics or religion on dates.
Never.
It's just not going to go well. So just avoid it as a topic.
The only religious statements she should be making are in bed, and I think you know what I mean.
All right, wait, gentlemen, I don't like the part about the philanthropy. I think she's looking for somebody that has enough money to give some away to poor people. So that gives me a little bit of pause. And I don't like, what else was it? I do like that she had a background in nutrition. I don't mind her.
Does she, or does that mean that she knows to eat every day?
It's hard to tell.
I know.
The not into hooking up, we're going to see that in most of the profiles on here. And look, I'll tell you something. It's these weak, insecure males that want to shame women for doing the same kind of behavior that they are the reason why they have to put not into hooking up on here. So they're not shamed for their proclivities. But hey, we're passing on her. This just ain't the right one for me.
No, definitely not.
All right, give me a second here. I'll preview our next profile tonight. Okay. All right, our next profile, gentlemen. We got
Right,
Jasmine. Jasmine is 36. No bio. No information about her.
No attractiveness.
Well, Johnny, that's subjective. Each and every one of us is going to have a different definition of what we find attractive. So I'm not trying to focus on her looks outside of how she is presenting herself to everybody. And she's not like in a room where there's a bunch of dirty clothes all over the bed or a bunch of clutter. So I don't really want to hold.
No, but here's the thing. Let's take a look at her looks, which are average at best, and combine that with the fact that she still thinks she didn't need to say anything to us.
Okay, but what does average at best looks have to do with her sucking you off on command?
Nothing, as long as she could put something provocative in the bio, but as we saw, she didn't think she needed to.
What do looks have to do with her cooking you a perfect 4-course meal at dinner time?
Because when she takes her clothes off, if I don't want to see what I'm seeing, I'm out the door.
I can understand that, Johnny, that you're not attracted to the woman, but let's just take the looks out of it.
Okay. So no bio.
No bio, no information, nothing but a couple pictures of her camera roll. She put no effort into this profile at all.
Put no effort into her makeup.
So how much effort is she going to put into you guys? I'm just saying, I don't like this for mid-30s, 4 pictures, no information. I'm passing on this. That's nah. All right, let me check out the next one.
You.
All right, that's going to be a negative. Let's find another one.
By the way, Johnny, gentlemen, if you see over Bill's left shoulder, there is a pill called the me pill. I think that before you even go on a site like Bumble, Tinder, POF, you need to take that pill. It's really not that big in real life. Actually, You know what? Maybe it is. Maybe it is, because the me pill is bigger for some than it is for others. We have to know who we are. We have to accept who we are. And we have to be willing to improve who we are by setting goals, having a plan, because without it, that goal is nothing more than a wish or a lamentation. So take that me pill, no matter how big or small it is, and remember that no matter how hard it was to swallow, it's going to get easier as long as you take every single day and make yourself better and commit to going to bed feeling better than you did when you woke up.
Hey, well said, Johnny. Real quick, though, I just want to say shout out to Steve the Dean Williams at the Man Mindset.
Yes.
Steve gave me a lifetime supply of me pills. And yo, this is what you got now. You got me on the internet because Steve the Dean Williams gave me a me pill. So shout out to Steve. All right, Johnny, got another profile for us tonight.
We got 15
Gina.
minutes to find you two more.
We got Gina. She's 40. 5'5", drink socially, no bio.
Bruh.
This is the same exact profile as the other lady who only took a few pictures out of her camera roll and couldn't take the time to fill out anything about herself on this app. And look,
Well, I think this girl
if
thinks she's too cute.
if that's what works for her, I'm not knocking her. Cool, good for her. But I'm telling you right now that Gina here just blew her shot at going to have a drink with a real man. So
Yeah, because by looking at this profile, absolutely. I mean, seeing this profile with no bio, and all we see is her at a college frat party at 40 years old. To me, that says number
she's at the train station.
number one, you still haven't matured past that college age, and number two, you think you're so hot at 40 years old, still partying with college kids, that we're gonna swipe right. Here's the thing, honey. The years that you are celebrating in those photos passed you by 15 to 20 years ago. Okay. I don't like it any better than you do. I'm 45. I get it. The point is that if you're looking for a man that is going to give you that emotional support, that mental support, that boyfriend vibe, you're looking for a good guy, you're going to have to stop acting like a sorority girl. And here's the problem that a lot of women run into. Now, I know you're not a fan of Donovan Sharp, but one thing that he said that made a lot of sense to me is that most women, especially attractive women, so some of you women who are going to disagree with me, remember, I'm only talking about attractive women, they stop maturing the minute they realize that grown men want to respect them behind closed doors. And they don't resume that maturity until that is no longer the case. In most of your cases, somewhere between the ages of 35 and 42. And so the thing of it is once they realize that happens, they resume maturing, but not at 36, 38, 41. No, they resume maturing at the age that they originally realized grown men wanted to love them. And so at 38, 41, whatever the age is, they are resuming maturation at age whatever it was, 15, 17, 19, whatever it was that they realized that grown men wanted to do things to them. So the reason they don't resume maturing until then and they resume maturing at that age is because for that time, especially if they remain single, men, especially the simps, I know a lot of you guys don't like that word, but Bill and I know what that means. The simps who continue to give, and get nothing in return, these girls are having a great time with that. And on the other side of that fence, the guys like us who have fun with those girls but don't commit to them, they're having fun with that until one day they wake up, they're 37, and they go, holy crap, I got to find a guy. And I feel like that's the profile we're looking at here. I know. I don't like it either.
Look, I don't necessarily agree with that. And that's just based on my own experiences. Now, I date women of a lot of different ages, Johnny. And I have recently been dating somebody in their early 20s. And I have to tell you, a woman that's like half my age is more emotionally mature than I am. Like deeper on levels, understand stuff that I don't. So from my own experiences, when I see a 21-year-old have more emotional intelligence than me, I cannot agree with Mr. Sharp.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, but at the same time, remember that this doesn't really center around the actual specific age, just the behaviors. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, you said 37, so that's a great segue into our next
example, but yeah.
Here we got Whitney, who's 37, Johnny.
All right.
Now, don't go get too excited. Whitney here didn't take the time to fill out a bio. Okay, it says my humble brag is that I'm a really good baker and I make awesome desserts.
Bless
Yeah, the
that
pictures
bitch.
prove that.
When I unplug, I like to take my kids camping. We have a favorite campground that we go fishing, have a fire, swim in the pond. It's always so much fun.
I'll bet you a Buffalo nickel it's Beaver Creek.
I
I
really
like
don't.
Beaver Creek. I went there. I camped there last year. Listen, I mean, some people go there for the ghost tour. I don't really believe in that stuff, but man, a great camping experience, Beaver Creek. It's not very expensive. $35 a night on a weekend in the summer. You should check it out.
Now it says here, teach me something you're passionate about.
Bruh.
All women want this, Johnny. All women want a guy who can teach them things, not in a condescending way, in
No, not
a
at all.
elevate you, elevate and educate you type way.
I'll take that a step further and call it a leadership way.
So teach me something you're passionate about. Yeah. Here's what I
You know,
don't.
I want to point out though, that's at least the second or possibly third time we've heard that this month.
Yeah.
Just live.
All right. Here's what I don't like. I don't like that there's a filter on every picture.
There's a
Every
reason
single
for that.
every single picture has a filter. I
Yeah, so
don't
here's
like
the thing. Two things, guys, and here's the red flags I want you to consider. Number one, like Bill said, the number of filters. Number two, the fact that you don't see anything from the collarbone down. Now, there's two types of guys out there. Guys who are attracted to heavier women and guys who are realistic. Okay? The fact of the matter is that she is showing from here up because she knows from here down it's not something you're going to want to see if you're the average guy. Now, she knows that there are self-proclaimed chubby chasers out there, but in reality, those are just the guys who are so used to getting that kind of girl because they can't quite get, the hotter girls. I mean, look, there's no nice way to say it. The point is, she's using filters and shooting herself from here up for a reason. So, for me, I've been in the game long enough to know, no, swipe left. This girl is trying to emphasize her prettiness, which, by the way, she still has to use a filter to enhance. No, I'm out.
I had a woman. I had a woman last year give me some really good game, Johnny. She said, if you want to see what a woman really looks like, take her swimming. Wait till all that makeup
I
comes
have
off
heard
of her.
that.
Right? Hey, she
Mhm.
gave me some good game.
I agree.
dog, for real. That's when we started talking about beach dates last summer.
Yeah, that's
All
great
right.
advice.
So, look, now as far as this profile here, I'm seeing a real lack of self-confidence. I cannot be interested in or attracted to a
I see a
woman.
lack of self-discipline.
Exactly. And with my level of self-discipline, that just means that her and I aren't compatible. So I don't like to put looks in the equation just because, like I said, this show is for men of all ages. And Whitney here might have somebody that's, hey, I'd go out with her. So, hey, whatever. Not my type. I don't like the things in the profile. I don't like all the filters. I do like she's family oriented. I do like that she, is doing stuff with the kids and baking and cooking, but I'm just going to pass on this one. I'm not feeling her.
Yeah, I mean, the thing of it is that Billy is active. As you can see, he's in great shape. We're not sure how. It turns out he has a friend who works in fitness. Weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Hey, shout out to Johnny Dumbbell. He was putting together workouts for me a year and a half ago. So
Yeah. Man, it's
This
been
is
that
this
long.
is just consistency and discipline, dog. That's all it is. Now, our next
Consistency,
profile,
more importantly, yes.
our next profile here is Vanessa. She's 43. About Vanessa. I'm just a single female moving and grooving out here, looking to share laughs, stimulating conversation, and be able to vibe out.
Bless that bitch.
Johnny,
Yeah, I got to be honest with you.
between the lines. Read between the lines for everybody. What's this
I'm
woman?
Gen X. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm Gen X, so I have no idea what vibe out means.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
okay, so some of the Gen Z people like to say like they're a whole vibe. And I really think it's a cop out. As a man, you're supposed to
Yeah.
create the vibe. Johnny, I'm the vibe. I'm the good time. You know, be able to vibe out means that she wants to be able to go relax, have some intimate conversation, flirty, be attracted to me. And then after we have a drink or two, look over at me and ask me if I'm ready to get out of here.
Ah, yeah, that's a good. That's like a great. Yeah, that's a great plan.
All right. It says, I'm known for my positive outlook, planning and taking road trips, my smile, being motivating, and loyal by default.
Bless that bitch.
If she's not
Yep.
capping, I'm telling you, there's a couple of those I like. Positive outlook. Here's the thing, Johnny. I wake up early, I stretch. I can't always work out before work, but you know, I do my morning routine and I do things to put positivity into my life. So when I go out into my day, I can put positivity out into the universe. And one thing I cannot stand is a woman who's being negative and just not reciprocating my positive energy, you know, frustrated, mad, I'm about to crash out, that kind of stuff. I don't want that energy around. I want things to be really positive. So she's got a positive outlook and there's a lot of positive energy and she's very motivating. Those all will be things in her favor.
Yeah,
Now,
and if it doesn't work out, that's one of those shit tests you were actually glad to fail.
now
And I put fail in quotes.
loyal by default, I don't like that. And because people aren't loyal by default, she's only going to be
No.
loyal as long as I give her a reason to be loyal. If I start doing and moving in a way where my actions are not in alignment with my words, she is not going to be loyal to me by default. So I
And it
don't
sounds
like
like she's describing. Yeah, it sounds like she's describing the concept of unconditional love. Now, Bill, tell these folks about unconditional love. How do you
I
get
would
that?
love to, Johnny. I'm so glad you asked. I come across this so often, especially on Facebook.
Yep.
People are looking for love. They don't know how to look in the mirror for love. I got some news for you, gentlemen. The only self-love, I'm sorry, I messed that up, Johnny. The only real love you're going to have in life is the love that you have for yourself. Self-love. You should love yourself unconditionally. You should have an understanding of who you are and the things that you like to do and how you want to move. You should, it gets real deep, but when it comes to love, the only true love exists is the love that you have for yourself.
And gentlemen, yes. But gentlemen, I have a question for you, and I will put this up as a poll question. Who do you think you're going to get more? Who do you think you are more likely to get unconditional love from? A woman or a dog? They made girls pick between the man and the bear. I want men to say, who's more loyal, your girlfriend or your dog?
Oh, John, you're going to start a whole new thing on the internet.
That's not what I said.
All right. She says, I'll know if we vibe on a date if conversation just flows effortlessly. Now, that kind of goes back to what she was saying earlier about looking to share laughs, stimulating conversation, and be able to vibe out.
I still don't know what that means.
Johnny, I don't know. She's kind of cute. I'm telling you, I kind of like her, Johnny.
I mean, I would swipe right only to be able to meet with her for drinks and find out what she means by vibe out. I really want to know that.
Know what
And if you
she
find the
means,
answer to that, I need to know.
Johnny. All right, says when I unplug, I like to read a book, listen to music, take a trip.
Bless that bitch.
I love women who read. I really like women who are in tune with music. And taking a trip, how far away is she? She's out in Akron. Yeah, she gonna take a little trip out here to see me, out here to the yo. So cool. I got a trip already planned for her. You know what, Johnny? I'm gonna swipe on her.
As a Kent State University student, I have to say, if she's an Akron zip, swipe left.
No, it didn't say Akron alumni. It just says she lives in.
I know. I'm just saying if she is.
No, I mean the profile.
It's a mini rivalry.
Johnny, I've seen better profiles, but I've also seen worse profiles. I just think she's kind of cute, dog. I'm swiping on her.
Yeah, why not? All right, so we got 2 down, 1 to go.
2 down, 1 to go, Johnny. Let me preview our next profile.
I'm not single, man. This is all about you, brother.
All right. I got a good one here, I think.
All right.
What's Justin say? Justin is dogging you, man. All right, let's move on.
Listen, Justin, let me tell you something. Yes, I did wear those for you last night, and you said nothing, so I'm never wearing them for you again.
Bruh.
I can't believe you just admitted that.
Dude, Justin and I go way back.
I have never dressed for another man in my life, Johnny. That's a little sus.
That's a little sarcasm, but you know.
No, I know. I'm messing with you, dog. All right, Johnny. We got Victoria. She's 32. And Johnny, you know me well enough to know that I like them little hippie type women. So I'm kind of getting some vibes like that here between the necklace, the purse, the glasses. About Victoria, I love music. I am an outgoing introvert and homebody once I get to know you.
Oh,
But I
for the
like
love
to
of
go
God.
out sometimes too. Just moved back to Ohio from Florida, looking to meet new people, maybe even my new person.
Oh my God! So she just moved back to the area that she used to know, and she just needs you to show her around, and maybe pay for stuff, and maybe. Oh man, guys, jump on this one right away, dude. Swipe left.
Who said anything about paying for anything? Shout out to KZ.
She did.
Her debit card works too. Johnny, I can't even tell you the number of women I go out on a date with, and they end up picking up the tab.
You're not wrong, but this girl is a foodie call. This girl is strictly a foodie call. What? Guys, listen. You and I know how to finesse her, but these young men out there, they're going to get finessed by her. Remember, we're the experts. We're the black belts. But the guys that are reading this ad, she thinks are white, yellow, orange belts. Okay? She is going to figure out a way to make them show her his personality and whether or not they're compatible by how much fun she has and for how little cost.
No, I gotta disagree with that. It says I'm an outgoing introvert.
An outgoing introvert? That's where I call bullshit.
Once I get to know you, but I like to go out sometimes too. So what she was saying by saying that she's a homebody, once she gets to know you, is saying that you're not going to start out coming over to the house. You're going to have to put a little bit of effort into seeing her. Once she gets comfortable with you. Remember, I was talking earlier about all the anxiety that women have, how much they overthink and overanalyze stuff. Once she gets comfortable enough with you to invite you back to her safe space, her personal, little whatever, that's when you'll really get to know her. That's when she'll be more outgoing and less introverted. And her liking to go out sometimes too. Looking to go out sometimes too. That's indicative to my lead. when I say, hey, come on, we're gonna go get some chicken tacos and hit the tequila bar for an hour or two. So just
So
move
this
back to
this is a
Florida.
girl who wants to see if you like all those things and if you're willing to pay for you guys to do all those things. This is
Johnny,
the kind of girl who needs to get to know you before she does anything fun with you, unless she is actually sexually biologically attracted to you, which is going to be a much smaller percentage than the guys that she'll actually meet for drinks, for
right.
food, for free
And if
stuff.
she's sexually attracted to you, is she gonna expect you to pay for stuff?
Yeah,
Why?
but judging by that bio, yeah,
No, because they don't want to do stuff. They want to have sex if they're sexually attracted to you. That's a trick
right.
question.
If they're
Johnny.
sexually
You
attracted
don't
to you,
have to
yes.
take her out for anything. I
But
take
if
her
they're not, but this is the kind of girl, if she's not sexually attracted to you, but she thinks you have money, she's still going to meet you. And at the end of the night, there's going to be some weird thing that comes up that you just got to get her home as quick as you can alone.
where do you get that from? Looking to
Past
meet
experience,
new people?
experience of the guys that ask me questions.
Sitting at her house bored because guys don't have the balls to step to her and ask her out on a date. That's why she had to make a Bumble to begin with. Of course she wants to meet new people. She's got an online dating profile. I think you're really reaching on this one, Johnny.
No, I'm
I
not.
mean,
And I'll tell you why.
Bio.
I'll tell you
And
why. This sounds like, if you give me a minute, I'll tell you.
show break it down for me.
So this girl's looking for a guy who loves music, and she expects us to believe that she's an out. No. Let me stop you there. She already contradicts herself by saying she's an outgoing introvert. So what she's trying to get you to believe is that she's a monogamous P star. We'll leave it at that. And no. Hold on. But remember, she talks a lot more about the things that she would like for you to take her to do than she does about the things that she likes to do with him. Remember, she is telling you what she wants you to do with her, but notice there is not one statement saying what she brings to the table. She is telling you in a very sweet and, to be frankly honest, sexy way what she expects, but she gives you no indication of what you can expect from her. Swipe left.
No, you can't back up a single thing you just said, Johnny. Stop the cap. There is nothing in this profile that's indicative of that. She's not asking for.
What did she say she'll do for you? What does she bring to the table? Tell me one thing she says here that she brings to the table.
Are you kidding me? That is some red pill rhetoric. A woman doesn't have to bring anything to the table. She
does.
At the place and time I tell her to show up, or she no longer has my time. We're not going out on a second date. If I say, meet me at this bar at 7:00, she shows up, or she doesn't. She doesn't show up, I forget her name. If she does show up, we're going to vet her based on my vetting process. She'll bring what I tell her to bring to the table. That's what
you made my point. I love that. I love that you made my point, because what you're saying is she needs to bring accountability to the table.
No, I did not.
You're absolutely right. I agree.
I did not say. I said she's either going to show up or she's not. And she's not asking for a single thing in here. She's telling you about.
She's also not offering anything either.
She's not saying take me out to concerts. And yeah, she's saying
I never said she did.
Introvert, because women often contradict themselves. So I don't see a reach in that at all. I think she's telling me that she has anxiety but likes to go out. So she might want to go out, but she might be too anxious to go out. So
Billy, I love you, but if you got to learn a lesson the hard way, swipe right.
The fact that she came back from Florida to Ohio, and she's looking to meet people, dude, if she knew a bunch of people,
did she though?
Ohio, she wouldn't be looking to meet new people. She would be going out with her friends all the time. She doesn't.
Which brings me to my
part of Ohio that she moved back to.
Which brings me to my next point. Isn't it?
And there's one picture here.
Which brings me to my next point. Isn't it funny how many profiles you come across that is a girl who says she just moved to the area or just moved back to the area.
Yeah,
You
it's
know
the
how many of
thing.
those you see? That's like 6 out of 10.
Right. Because women move around for their careers. They move around for school. They move around for several different reasons. And
And that's
guys are
great. And when they are done, and when they
John,
are done and they're ready to settle down, great. But if you're
no,
still traveling for school, if you're still traveling for business, I think you should. And I wish you the best of luck. And when you're in town for the weekend, give me a call. We'll have some fun. But we will
John,
not
she's
have a
not
committed relationship.
for the weekend. She moved back and you're treating her like she's a flight attendant. She's looking to meet new people. She didn't say she's looking for something casual. I
You
don't
know
know
that,
why.
and I know that. But like you say at the beginning of every show, the things that women say they're looking for are not always what they
What they
mean.
respond to. The things that
Exactly.
they say publicly are not what they respond to. That
Look, man,
is correct. So
I
what
love
is
you,
she saying
and I'll
publicly
support you in
here?
any decision you make. But I'm saying
What
swipe left.
what is she saying publicly here that you don't think she's going to respond to? Please elaborate.
Nothing. That's exactly it. She doesn't give me any idea of what she brings to you. She gives
Well,
me no idea of what
you're
she can
saying she's asking for
offer to
stuff.
you. All
No,
she's telling us,
you're reading that because she's telling you exactly what she's doing. Outgoing introvert means she might want to go out, but might get anxiety
that's
and can't.
bullshit. An
Homebody.
outgoing introvert.
Yeah.
Listen, as a DJ who's been DJing weddings and clubs for the last almost 20 years, I can tell you that when somebody says that kind of statement, and it is in that kind of duality with a statement that doesn't seem related, this is a girl who's putting a shotgun blast out there for anybody who can actually provide her a resource that she can exploit. I say swipe left. But
No,
if you swipe right, I'm your buddy. I'll
her
always support
just
you.
to
But
prove you how wrong. She's not looking for any kind of resource. How are you getting that? She didn't say take me to a concert. She didn't say show me why I should go out with you. She didn't say I like this restaurant or that.
you're
Or
right.
tell me where to get
You're right.
sushi.
She didn't say take me to a concert. She said I
I love
love music, which is going to say, listen. This girl is experienced. When
She's
she
in a
says I love music,
she's
Bill,
being
listen.
honest. She's being
You
honest.
are not. You are not a simp, and I am not a simp. So we
Can look at
are
a
going
picture
to have past.
of Kane for
We're
herself.
going to have past simp experience to know that when she says I love music, every simp out there is going to say, "Oh, I'll take her to a concert. Let me find out her favorite band." And if she's looking for that kind of a free night out, he'll be able to ask her that question, and she'll be more than happy to answer it for him. You know why? Because she wants him to buy her tickets to go to that concert.
Johnny, I don't think you understand how women work. Why would she want to go to a concert with somebody she can't stand, doesn't like, and she has anxiety? She's gonna want
Wait,
to go
wait,
to a
wait. Let
concert.
me ask you a question.
So unless you're buying
You
her
personally know.
and
You
her friends,
personally know all the. You personally know all the BS I've been through, and you're going to tell me that you don't think I understand women. Come on, Bill. You know better than that. So do I.
I don't know why you're reaching on this profile. I'm not getting any of the things that you are on this. I think she's being pretty straightforward.
I'm just saying that she may be. What I'm saying is she may be legit, but the way she words things, the way she structures it, I'm going to go ahead and say that combined with the fact that she's really not that cute. If it were me, I'd go left.
I think you're completely wrong about
But if you
this.
go right, I'll support you. You're my bro. I got you.
Not even reading the rest of it. All right. I'm hoping
Don't need
you
it.
are funny and like to make light of life and laugh things off. So, how many other times have we heard that one tonight about
Bruh.
laughing? Most of the profiles, right?
Well, and see, that's the key, though. Here's the thing.
You
I
want
don't
to
care
take-
how high she thinks she. I'm going to agree with you on there, and I'll agree. Here's why I agree with you. Because laughter, your ability to elicit laughter from her, is going to be indicative of your ability to elicit. Because I can't say it on YouTube, other things that she is incapable of controlling if she tried. So no, when it comes to her being susceptible to laughter as a result of your sense of humor, hey, great. What I'm trying to say though is if you can't elicit responses from her that she is incapable of controlling, such as laughter or a word I can't say on YouTube, apparently. But what Dude, I hate the algorithm. I really do.
Johnny,
But,
don't get me started on the algorithm because I'm
man,
shorts on YouTube and then the algorithm won't promote them.
dude, how much bigger would we be if it wasn't that crap? You know?
Well, a lot of it.
I know.
We're getting off topic here. You know what I did
yeah.
notice about this picture right here? And correct me if I'm wrong. Do you see any makeup on this woman right now?
Let me get my glasses on here.
Any eyeshadow, blush, cover up?
I mean, maybe foundation, but I can't even really tell that.
So it's a pretty natural picture. I like that. All right. My favorite quality in a person is honesty and loyalty.
Bless that bitch.
Well, geez, that narrows it down.
Hey, I'm always honest with women because they need all of the information that they can get to make the decision for themselves if they want to be a part of what I got going on.
Okay, but the pool table picture, I have to ask one question.
Huh.
I know that she probably has friends that'll take pictures of her and she's going to make a cute pause and, or a cute pose rather. And, look the way she looks right there holding cue stick. Hey, whatever. I'm going to say average booty. Not bad. But here's the question I would have. Who's behind the camera? Is that her current boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, her BFF, her mom, her sister? I mean, the thing of it is, well, because here's the thing. It's not about who's behind the camera so much. It's about the attitude of the picture that's being taken. Did she take that picture with the full intent of displaying the goods, or did she take that picture? Hold on. But did she take? Yeah, you and I know that. But did she take that picture, look at it days, weeks, months later, and say, "Oh, that's a good picture. I didn't realize I took such a sexy picture. I didn't even know that I was attractive. Oh my goodness, I'm so surprised. I should put this on my dating profile." What are the odds that an attractive woman doesn't know she's attractive when she can walk down the street, get 6 compliments in 100 feet? Because here's the thing.
Who compliments women? I don't understand.
I live in a major city. I'll tell you, construction workers, security guards, cops, the street sweepers. So here's the thing.
Dirty Mackin.
And that's just at a low level.
Genuine.
The point that I'm making is that women receive at least halfway decent, attractive women. Again, girls, if you disagree with what I'm saying, then you probably don't get compliments. And hey, man, do what you got to do. But when women talk about getting compliments ad nauseum, and they're so sick and tired of getting guys giving them compliments. But here's the thing: if you're a man, you will remember a compliment that you received 3 years ago on a city bus about the shirt you were wearing. You know why? Because guys don't get random compliments anywhere near as often as women do.
Johnny, I get complimented constantly. And I forget about them 2 seconds after they say them. I don't need a woman to tell me how good I look. I know how good I look because I put the work in for me to look this good. I don't.
Okay, for those of you who are not the Northeast Ohio version of Zoolander, though.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Johnny. You're talking about complimenting women, and I don't think women are special enough to compliment. I think that I'm the compliment.
You know that, and I know that. I'm just saying.
So, well, honesty and loyalty. Let's see what else we got here. Ooh,
bless that bitch.
Bad little bitch with her tongue out.
Bruh.
All right.
What does that tell you, fellas? Tell me in the comments.
Things people don't normally know. I like intelligence in a man.
Bless that bitch.
Does she like intelligence because it usually begets wealth, and that means that an intelligent man probably has more money? Now, she could be being genuine here, but remember, if they say they like intelligence in a man, it usually means they like education, accomplishment, and most importantly, income.
Johnny, I completely disagree with everything you said about Victoria's
Of course you do.
profile. I am going to swipe on her and match with her and go out on a date with her just to prove you wrong.
All right, fine. We're two. We got two.
All right, Johnny, it's 11 o'clock now. I think we need to wrap the stream up. We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. Now,
All right, we got 2 out of 3. Not bad.
yeah, we got 2 out of 3. Now, Johnny, we're going to be back Monday night. Uncles, because, we really take that seriously. We want to help.
Monday night's my show, and I'll tell you why, because I already have one really, really, really good question, and you guys are really going to want to tune in for that.
Okay. Justin says he's never known Johnny to be wrong. Justin, keep watching. All of us are wrong at some point. None of us are infallible. And when Johnny is wrong, he has the humility enough to learn from his mistakes and grow from them. So,
and honestly, you can ask anybody who knows me, including my girlfriend. Yep.
All right. So we're going to be back Monday night with the Ask Your Favorite Uncles. Shout out to us. But Johnny, I got to tell you, brother, we're not doing a dating show next Thursday. We're off. I've got another one whole day tattoo appointments that start at noon, and I could still be getting inked up at 9 p.m. So we're just not going to have the show on the 29th. I'm going to go to my tattoo appointment, and we'll be back.
Listen, I have it on good authority that even 16 Major League Baseball teams will also be off on Thursday, so it's not our fault.
All right, Johnny.
We don't make millions a year. They do.
We don't make millions yet.
Yeah, okay, yes, absolutely.
We appreciate everybody who likes the stream, shares the stream, who commented during our live stream. Thank you. We appreciate you. Anybody
We really do.
Subscribe to our channels, we appreciate you. Thank you very much in helping us share and get out this message to men of all ages.
Shout out to Tully29er. Love you, brother. And shout out to Matt. Shout out to Frank, both Franks, Ryan. And look, you guys are the best. We love you. And keep tuning in, man. We will help you out one way or another. Now, in signing off, I will say, remember, gentlemen, especially you young men, if you drink, don't drive. And if you drive, don't park. Because accidents cost people.
All right, Johnny, we're out. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you.